Clear blue water hangs over a gravel seabed, setting scale and silence before any fishing action begins.
A rippled gravel bottom and sharp pebbles show unusual clarity, with only slow silt puffs drifting.
A school of red salmon cruises calmly above gravel, moving together with no line, bait, or hooks anywhere. A giant red salmon leads the group in close-up, while the school trails behind, calm and untouched.
Crew stages coil tubs and hauler controls, keeping hands clear while heavy braided line feeds smoothly. Circle hooks and swivels line the station, built for abrasion and long soak times in deep, cold water. Bait gets rigged with consistent wraps, keeping presentation stable while branch lines drop through strong currents. Safety spacing stays strict around rollers and pinch points, even as spray and ship roll increase. The tall steel hull parts gray-blue water, with scuppers draining and rub rails throwing spray. Branch lines coil into clean loops, preventing tangles when tension spikes later during hauling cycles with calm pacing and natural movement only. Landing gear and tank clamps get checked for load paths, keeping handling controlled when fish come aboard.
Baited branch lines clip on and drop in steady cadence, keeping the set smooth and untangled at the stern.
Clear bottom details hold steady, building anticipation while the seabed remains quiet and undisturbed with calm pacing and natural movement only.
The school passes over stones with gentle tail beats, keeping formation and showing no sign of capture.
A marker buoy splashes beside the hull, recording the set while wake ripples spread outward.
The set completes cleanly, and coil tubs stay organized for a safe and fast retrieval later.
One giant salmon turns above gravel with calm curiosity, while the rest of the school arcs behind.
Vivid red bodies glide above gray pebbles, untouched, as clear water reveals every slow movement.
Salmon silhouettes cross fading sun shafts, then disappear into deeper blue with no gear visible anywhere.
Night checks confirm tubs and lash points stay secure, keeping the system ready for hauling at first light.
A red salmon school approaches the bait above gravel, and slack branch line begins to straighten in clear water. A rockfish darts for bait first, jostling the hook as gravel silt puffs rise and settle quickly. A giant red salmon crowds the bait zone, pushing smaller fish aside and holding steady in the current. The circle hook seats at the jaw corner, and tension transfers cleanly into leader and braided mainline. A violent run bends the salmon, and tail beats kick silt off gravel while the line stays tight. Thrashing twists the body, yet swivels stay aligned, and the leader remains tight with no slack. The hooked red salmon thrashes hard above gravel, jaw corner hook set, leader tight, silt plumes trailing.
The hauler turns at controlled speed, maintaining constant pressure so the hook stays seated during pulls. A near-surface roll shows the jaw corner hook as a taut leader line cuts through gray chop.
A sling supports the salmon at the tuna door, keeping the hook visible and leader tight in spray.
Short thrash bursts hit the mats, and rope control keeps movement contained while crew maintains safe spacing.
The salmon slides lengthwise into an aerated tank, and strong bubbles begin circulation for short holding.
Fresh bait gets clipped and dropped again, keeping the set smooth while the ocean stays cold and steady.
A baited hook hangs above gravel, untouched, as slack branch line drifts quietly in clear water. A red ring jelly pulses slowly above gravel, adding calm contrast between heavy hauling cycles. A six-gill shark glides past at distance, steady and quiet, never approaching bait or line. A small group of red salmon cruises above stones, natural and unhurried, with clear water showing every scale.
Red salmon dart and glide among drifting jellies, while distant shark and whale silhouettes pass calmly in blue water. A lone giant red salmon cruises above gravel, frame-filling and steady, with no borders or cinematic bars.
Tank hoses and clamps get checked, keeping circulation steady and preventing slosh as the vessel rolls. Branch lines coil back into tubs in neat loops, keeping workflow clean as spray continues over rails.
2 salmon close on bait above gravel, and a smaller fish darts between them as tension begins to build. The hook seats at the jaw corner, and the leader tightens hard as the salmon turns away from gravel.
A surface roll exposes the jaw corner hook as a tight leader line slices foam beside steel plating.
The salmon rises under heavy tension, jaw corner hook set, as the leader climbs beside the pitching steel hull.
Swell grows, and the bow pitches, while scuppers pour water, and the hull stays steady in open ocean.
Hauler speed changes gradually, and braced crew guides braided line while keeping spacing strict around rollers.
Underwater pull intensifies as the salmon thrash it above gravel, and silt clouds bloom under hard tail beats.
A surface roll shows the hook at the jaw corner, and the taut leader bites through foam beside steel plating.
A sling lifts the salmon through the tuna door, and violent thrashing hits deck mats under steady control.
The salmon slides straight into the aerated tank, and churning bubbles stabilize it during short holding.
Bait prep stays fast, and branch lines drop again while spray rises and the deck keeps its rhythm.
Competition tightens as a flatfish hovers in, then a salmon takes bait, and the hook seats cleanly. A hard run and twist loads the leader, and a line swivels prevent twist while silt trails behind.
Heavy chop slams the hull as the jaw corner hook stays visible, and the leader slices foam cleanly.
Deck thrash hits hard, and sling control plus spacing keeps movement contained without slipping or chaos.
Straight transfer into the tank keeps the body aligned, and lid clamps hold while hoses pulse circulation.
A tola pulses above gravel, and the calm glow contrasts with the violent surface hauling with calm pacing and natural movement only.
A red salmon school cruises over pebbles, shimmering in clear water with no line or bait in view.
A bigger wave lifts the bow and drops it hard, while scuppers dump water in sheets down plating.
A wave lifts the hull as the jaw corner hook stays set, and the taut leader slices foam beside steel plating.
Ratchet straps tighten on tubs and tank, preventing shifts as the vessel rolls harder in rising seas.
A salmon takes bait after a quick feint, and the hook seats at the jaw corner as tension locks in. Intense thrashing kicks up silt, and the leader remains tight while chafe sleeves prevent abrasion.
The leader jerks then steadies beside steel plating, and the jaw corner hook stays visible through foam.
A rolling landing brings the salmon through the tuna door, and violent thrash gets controlled with sling and rope.
The salmon slides straight into bubbling water, and circulation helps calm movement under controlled holding.
A 6-gill shark glides above gravel, and red salmon pass at distance without any chase or contact. A distant shark silhouette raises urgency, and a salmon takes bait fast as the hook seats cleanly.
Under heavy tension, the hooked salmon thrashes and twists, driving bubbles as the leader drags it deeper.
The fish rises again under load, and the jaw corner hook stays visible as the leader slices chop.
Deck thrash intensifies with tail strikes, and rope control keeps crew safe while the fish stays contained.
Beside steel plating, the jaw corner hook and taut leader show clearly as the salmon rolls in heavy chop.
Crew positions the sling under the salmon at the tuna door, leader tight in spray, keeping movement controlled.
The salmon comes aboard through the tuna door and thrashes hard, but controlled handling prevents twisting or injury. A straight slide into the tank keeps alignment, and strong bubbles churn as clamps secure the lid.
Hook rebaiting continues under storm spray, and branch lines drop again while the system cycles quickly.
Multiple red salmon circle within an aerated industrial holding tank, bubbles churning as the ship rolls.
Another salmon takes bait, and silt erupts as tail beats slam gravel while the leader stays tight. An extreme run loads the leader, and aligned swivels plus chafe sleeves prevent abrasion with zero slack.
Foam hides and reveals the taut leader as the salmon rides tight to steel plating in heavy chop.
A sling and tail rope guide the salmon across mats, controlling thrash before a clean tank transfer. The fish settles slightly in circulating bubbles, and controlled holding reduces thrash without any rough handling.
The salmon thrashes hard as the hauler lifts it onto deck mats, leader tight and handling controlled.
Hauler strain peaks under load, and braced crew guides braided line with strict spacing to protect hands.
Another huge wave lifts the bow and drops it hard, while scuppers dump water in sheets down plating.
A distant whale silhouette crosses far above, adding scale while the clear gravel seabed remains still below. A final big take seats the hook at the jaw corner, and silt blooms as the salmon powers away.
The fish breaks under the surface, and the taut leader stays visible beside the hull through swirling foam.
The haul ends with tanks bubbling and gear strapped down, while washdown clears the deck under steady spray.
Crew celebrates beside a piled catch of giant red salmon, vivid red bodies visible, while gray seas roll behind.
A wide deck view shows stacked red salmon, tanks bubbling, and tired crew raising fists briefly before returning to work.
Seawater rinses clean salmon surfaces, keeping bodies straight and work calm without splatter or gore.
Precise cuts clean the fish efficiently, and careful technique keeps the deck controlled and professional.
Chilled totes close and straps tighten, locking in cold chain protection as the ship rolls in open water.
Insulated containers stack on pallets, and sealed totes lift cleanly with no labels or text visible on camera.
Tools and deck get cleaned, and hoses coil away while open ocean spray stays visible beyond the rail.
Final checks confirm lids and straps stay tight, keeping chilled loads stable through roll and impact.
The hull runs through calmer swell, and draining scuppers show the operation moving on after the storm.
Sealed bins stay secured, and the hauler is locked out, ending offshore work with disciplined shutdown.
A chef slices chilled salmon loins cleanly, keeping portions uniform for even cooking and texture. Gentle pan heat sets a clean sear, and controlled timing preserves moisture without any dramatic flair. Precise plating places sauce and garnish, keeping focus on color and clean lines without theatrics.
Finishing touches land with steady hands, keeping the plate clean and balanced under bright kitchen lights.
Diners study the plate quietly, and small nods show approval without exaggerated gestures or loud reactions.
A fork cuts through gently flaking salmon, showing doneness and moisture without heavy sauce or distraction.
Plates line up at the pass, and wiped rims show repetition and service discipline without clutter.
The finished plate holds focus in close-up, highlighting sear, moisture, and careful portioning details.
Empty plates and calm smiles clothe the story, connecting offshore discipline to a refined service moment.